सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्ध ज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशांताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां व्यासशंकरमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ओम परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादि उपनिषद आचार्येभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातुः समस्त गुरूणां देवतानां अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं समस्त सनातनधर्म साधक भक्त सेवक उपासक स्थापकानां विघ्नशत्रु निवारण निर्मूलन द्वारा समस्त शक्ति साधना संपदा अवाप्ति द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजय प्राप्त्यर्थं विश्व शांति सामरस्यता एकता प्राप्त्यर्थं तैत्तरीय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणम्। Today we will be chanting the ऋतं च स्वाध्याय वाला portion. ओम ऋतं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च तपश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च दमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्नयश्च स्वाध्याय शमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्नयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्निहोत्रं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अतिथयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च मानुषं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजा च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजनश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजातिश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यमिति सत्यवचाराथेतरः तप इति तपो नित्यः पौरुषिष्टिः स्वाध्याय प्रवचने एवेति नाको मौद्गल्यः तद्धितवस्तद्धितवः अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिः पृष्ठं गिरेरिव ऊर्ध्वपवित्रो वाजिनीव स्वमृतमस्मि द्रविणगं सवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कोर्वेदानुवचनम् वेदमनोच्याचार्योऽन्ते वासिनमनुषास्ते सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाहृत्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सेः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्यै न प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्याय प्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं देवपितृकार्याभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि नो इतराणि यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि नो इतराणि ये के चास्मच्छ्रेयागंसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया ध्येयम् अश्रद्धया ध्येयं श्रिया ध्येयं ह्रिया ध्येयं भिया ध्येयं संविदा ध्येयं अथ यदि ते कर्म विजिकित्सा वा वृत्तविजिकित्सा वा स्यात् ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता आयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन् तथा तत्र वर्तेथाः तथाभ्याख्यातेषु ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता आयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन् तथा तेषु वर्तेथाः एष आदेशः एष उपदेशः एषा वेदोपनिषदा एतदनुशासनम् एवमुपासितव्यम् एवमुचैतदुपास्यम् शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेद तद्वक्तारमावेद आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 अथ प्रथमोऽनुवाकः ॐ ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परं तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेदनिहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सह ब्रह्मणा विपश्चिते ते तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाशः सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायुः वायोरग्निः अग्निरापः अद्भ्यः पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोऽन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणपक्षः अयमुत्तरपक्षः अयमात्मा इदं पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ॐ शान्तिः 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 Saluting Parabrahma Tattva Shruti Mata, all the Brahma Vidya Acharyas, Rishis, Munis and Gurus, and also our own Devatas. Saluting Vedavyasa Vaishampayana Agnivalkya, Adya Shankaradi, Taittiriya Upanishad Acharyas, and our own Gurus. Till we have not started using our intellect, we are not human. Till we have not started questioning, we are not fulfilling our human life. Intellect's job is to question, inquire, and know. When the intellect starts working and it starts questioning, the one who questions everybody around is a pakka samsari. The one who questions the outer world of the nature, he becomes a scientist. And the one who questions himself, he becomes spiritual. So, with all the Shastras studied, Upasanas done, if we have not come up to our intellectual level and have not started inquiring about ourselves, the spirituality has not begun in us. The two questions that we have to ask ourselves is, what is happening in and around and about me? Question 1. and then find. Let us not be living life without awareness. As a human being, we have to become absolutely aware about what is happening around me, about me, in me, all the time. Question one. This is for all the people. For you and I, the second question is Ki, from such long time, if we are studying the Shastras, what that Shastra Adhenam brought? The transformation in us, which has the personality layer transformed in us. Any of the attitudes or the understandings or the approaches or the outlooks, according to the Shastra Jnanam gained, did we change ourselves? If for this question the answer is no, means what? At least from now onwards, we have to restart our study in a way that with everything studied, we question ourselves as to is this study implementable, required? If yes, am I implementing? This way, when we ask, and then positive answer keeps getting yes, 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 then we are really growing spiritually. Else, what will happen? Continue the classes, but even the information level also, we will have no knowledge at all. And that person who, after information, makes it a conviction, he alone is really growing. And even after becoming convinced, also, the required efforts are to be put to change the lifestyle according to this newly gained spiritual conviction. That is inevitable, that's must. How much of that happening in us? It won't happen by itself. How much of that we are doing? Are we doing or not? Did we start or not? With this angle, when you see, then everything what we studied, whether it is Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi, Shatka Sampada, Mumokshutvam, of all these Vedanta, or the Yamanyamadhyat Yoga, or Shravanam Kirtanam of the Bhakti, we can see whether we are doing it or not. And then, without doing, expecting the change, expecting the result also is not justifiable. It is not correct. So, we have prayed to the Lord. The Lord has given us two things. One, He gave all the chance for studying Shastras. Second, right now, just now, He gave the second blessing that you have to start inquiring whether you are living the spiritual life or not. Then, if not, you yourself will have to consciously take it into your own hands. Come what may the world around, come what may the temptations around, come what may obligations around, come what may duties around. They have no end. They are also, what also? They are the only part called as of the Maya. How the Maya pulls us into other than Bhagavan world is through all this. If it is successful in pulling us into the world through the desires, that is its success. If not, then it brings other thing called as obligations. Even if that doesn't work, the Maya brings another thing called as duty. And here everybody is bound. Is it not my duty to do this, to do that? In that duty doings, they forget the real duty of knowing the self. Bhagavan knows it. Arjuna should not be left half informed. Therefore, even though throughout Gita Bhagavan taught Arjuna, do the duty, do the duty, do the duty, but the conclusion was there is no greater duty than knowing yourself. Therefore, sarva duty in paritejya mamaikam sharanam braja. There is no end to that. So, we taking into our own hands, consciously observing our own personality, have we changed? Have we really got the Vairagya to the world? How deeply, how completely it is? If the Vairagya comes in our heart, none of the things or beings or people, objects or let us say the situations, etc., none of them will have little sway also over on us. We become master of our own life and situations if we have Vairagya. Nobody dare can command us. We know what for we are living, we know what to do, therefore we will do what we know. We don't come under any other obligation or compulsions. We know it. वैराग्यवान व्यक्ति कहीं नहीं फंसेगा और नहीं फंसाएगा भी क्योंकि फंसाना इज इक्वल टू फंसना ओनली But did we get that one? And the vairagya is not outer quality, it is inner one. Luckily, in our Patanjali Yoga Darshana Shastram, this is what is the subject for our next 1 week classes. In this way, any of the Upanishadic sentences or paragraphs or the themes, or even of, let us say yesterday, Adhyatma Ramayana Vaisa, how our Agastya was teaching about the creation. Have you understood it? Before that, we saw in Bhagavatam, Bhagavan Krishna left this world. How Shukadevji was explaining in those 4 shlokas how Bhagavan, even while leaving, also taught us the lesson. How much of that is becoming meaningful to us? Are we still like a all the Upanishad Bhagavad Gita selling person in a railway station platform? You know the platform, they sell books, thousands, but they don't study. So too, are we just coming to the class and allowing the classes to happen only, or are we involving in it? No, just imagine a person in railway station selling Gita press books or any spiritual 10 years. Every day, even if 1 2 hours, if he studies, in 10 years, he'll become a Brahmagyani only. You will not. In the same way, we are studying 2.5 years, but still we remain same. Even if we study 2.5 centuries also, if we don't allow this jnanam being heard into our own hearts, this is the biggest challenge. First challenge is to be consistent in the classes. That itself is a great. The pull in the world outside is so much for various reasons that it is like I don't know how you came. Lodi is going on, Pongal is going on, Bhogi the festival is going on. Still you have come. So being regular is a big challenge. Bigger challenge is what? After that, internalizing what is heard to make it that our own, that knowledge is our own. After that, only the third big challenge of practicing the sadhana, ensuring that the required transformation is happening. In the transformation, the purity, the calmness, that kindness, the inner freedom from all the pairs of opposite. Therefore, the mind is full of concentration, subtlety, they are there. After that only, then the desire as well as effort as well as fulfillment of searching out the truth which is beyond behind all the upadhis. This is how our journey we have to know very clearly, and then should know where do we stand today, then next. Fully, only on that. Like the scientist says, kuch bhi karke I will discover this one principle something. So too we spiritual scientists, we will do our own research of discovering that which is behind. With this spirit, when we try, I think definitely we can see the change in us. We can really go within ourselves deeper. But much before that, all the mental and outside world things, whatever you call them as, we have to sort them out. Isn't it? It's a big thing. I just said in one word, but it has lot of things to understand in it. Sort out the outer things so that the mind is not leaking into the outer things or beings. Finish karo, khatam karo. Like when two people are arguing, you try to help them. Then they don't listen. Suddenly you say, "Abhi khatam kar yaar, iska koi end nahi hai." We say it. So too, there's no end for our outer involvements. Then it will go on taking our attention for many lives. तो उसको खत्म करना है. In that खत्म करना क्या होता है? There are a set of things to be done per day. They are done. More than that, you are not even concerned about the world. Thereafter, you have to khatam karo the inner things also. Sort out. In the inner sorting out, thing is one only, but it has very many angles. That one thing inner to be sorted out is called as manorajyam. That's the only thing, but it has hundreds of the ways to express that we have to sort out. Wherein the mind finds it no need for so much of thinking, so much of worries, so many of imagination, so many of projections. Why all that's going on? That's called inner sorting out. Why so much as if We don't have a Shastra in front of us to study, contemplate, and know the truth. क्या चलता ही रहता है अंदर हमारे मन में लगातार. That's called मनोराज्य. We made a habit of it from so many lives. And out of that, 95% is unwanted and nothing in our control. These are all called vikalpa vrittis according to Yoga Darshana. Go on thinking about everybody in the world, everything. And added to that is the most unconcerned things. And justifying it. Spiritual speaker has to be careful. The non-spiritual person has every duty to take care of even in a penguin staying in Antarctica ocean or whatever. A non-spiritual person should be concerned for the global warming, for this and that. And he should be very careful about the economic downfall of the whole world. He should be very concerned about what's happening in each of the Pacific, etc. oceans. A non-speaker person should be so universal outlooked. अरे भाई स्पिरिचुअल हो गए तो पहले आत्मा को पकड़ो. But in the mind, we go, Swamiji, is it not our duty to do this, that, this? Even talking about Sanatana Dharma and its establishment, that also is secondary. It should be an outcome. It should be byproduct. It should not be our main effort. The main effort is only to know the truth inside. When it is known, obviously the output will be, the byproduct will be that. So in this way, sorting out the inner thing also very essential. Everything. Don't get lost or anything caught up. The children settled, ho gaya. Parents, they're old, you take care, they'll be there. Other people, if you are required, they invite you. If you need them, take the help. Sorting out. At any time, mind should not be with any rajo tamo. Inside. Outside also, the sharira indriya should not be running from pillar to post. In that way, outer and inner sort kar diya us bande ne. Then he is in a routine daily of his own variety of sadhanas by which purification, ekagrata, sukshmata is attaining, and with that sharpened instrument he is taking up Upanishadic mantras and contemplating. And that day, little he is reaching. Next day, little, little. In this way, the depth comes to us. A day should come wherein, with lot of years of practice, the moment we sit, the closed eyes transcended the Dehatadhatmya, and that theme which we decided that day to contemplate on, we have entered into that deep contemplation. As on great yogis are of this height. At any moment, they just withdraw, they are in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, and from there, whatever the mantra they want to take the help of, through that they reach to the self and they are in that. The realized saints. Those who have not yet, they are doing only this one. There's no other occupation for them. You can see that, in that Ganga, Kinare, in Haridwar, Rishikesh. Just the sadhu sant आते हैं डुबकी लगाते नहाते हैं साइड पे बैठते हैं but they are in dhyana. They are no nothing concerned about. That is a great sthiti. Some of them struggling to quieten the mind. Some have quietened but not yet enter into inquiry. Some are the moment you sit, no need of any japa also to quieten mind. बैठ लिया मन शांत हो गया एकाग्र हो गया. Then they took up any of the mantra and analysis meditation or Guru Upadesh. So sort out outer things, sort out inner things, and then whatever the Shastra studied, we have to see that it is bringing required transformation in us. And this all should go on happening silently without any, any show off outside. Outside should be normal. Nobody should know that we are doing sadhana. In that way, silently we have to evolve inside. And then जैसे कोई बंदे बस में बैठते हैं चढ़कर आगे अपना स्टेशन उधर जाते खत्म नो बडी नो कंसर्न अबाउट एनीवन सेम वे वी एंटर्ड इनटू दिस देहा दिस जर्नी इज गोइंग ऑन एंड वी डू इन दिस जर्नी व्हाट एवर साधना टू डू एक दिन बस उतर के जाना है साइलेंटली उतर गया बस जहाँ भी जाए हमको क्या लेना देना हमारा जगह आ गया तो उतर गए दैट वे साइलेंटली वी हैव टू गेट आउट ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड विथ Very good amount of spiritual sadhana done and gained. बढ़िया मजेदार बात. May we all be in that way, helping ourselves through correct, complete understanding. Now, in today's and tomorrow's topic of Taittiriya Upanishad, the topic is very, very essential. Beautiful it is. Very, very, so much essential, we can't afford to miss it. One topic is that when the Brahma Anubhuti comes, how the result is. Is it so great that I have to pursue it at the cost of everything, including the Virat Rupa? Is it not? Even the Hiranyagarbha Virat Rupa also is lower only. If that itself is lower, what to talk about the Indradi Pada or the Swargadi Loka? If they themselves are not so great, what to talk about in these human lives, all experiences? So give up all that for the sake of Brahma Vidya. If through Viveka Vairagya, the Guru or Shastra says, we should know it is worthy or not. That worthiness will be explained here. How great and grand is the experience when Brahma Anubhuti comes, that is explained. But it is little technical. It is little subtler. We have to become very calm and quiet to catch it. So that will be a topic exhaustively to be studied by us. Another thing we will see in the introduction to the next portion is how the Brahman is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. In that also, how is Deshakala Vastu Paricheda Rahita. Very, very good topic that also. In fact, we have to bring our intellect to in this type of contemplative mood. And in that mode, when we inquire, the understandings start coming, the subtler and subtler. In that way, the subtler most understandings come, then the truth gets revealed to us. When the truth is revealed, the rope as rope, entire snake goes away. Then we can laugh it off at the entire our own earlier life, what funny things we were doing. But this you may tell to your friends and all, but they don't understand immediately. Like we don't understand immediately. So many lives it took for us also. इस तरह से. So the topic under discussion is Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipashita iti. ब्रह्मविद आपनोति परम तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यम ज्ञानमनंतम ब्रह्म यो वेद निहितम गुहायां परमे व्योमन सह अश्नुते सर्वान् कामान सह ब्रह्मणा विपश्चिता इति. So many days we are studying. That's why the first sentences have become very familiar to us without doubt. Brahmavid apnoti param. Nor the Brahman obtains the ultimate. Ultimate is Brahma only. Therefore, Brahmavid apnoti Brahma eva. What is that Brahma? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Where is it to be found? Yo Veda Nitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Now, what is the benefit? Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipashita. So this discussion was going on. Yesterday we saw up to this ki saha that sadhaka ashnute means bhunkte, sarvan means niravasishtan, kaman means bhoga. One by one word we understood yesterday. We have patiently spent the time. Now question came. Ashnute sarvan kaman is said. We also are going to have enjoying all the kamanas. We are doing all the punya karmas, all the yajna. So we will also get. Then why we should go for that Brahma Vidya only? There is a difference. What the difference is? What? In our experiences, they are all only this Putra Vittadi or Putra Swargadi, and that also Paryayena. So that was the question asked. Ki Kim Asmadadivat is the experience of Brahmagnani is like our own experience of Sarvakama. Like we have the Kamana of Putra and Sargadi, and that also Varyayana. The answer is Na itiyaha. Then how? Saha. What is Saha? Yugapatu. What is Yugapatu? Ekakshana uparudan eva. How that also? Now the next line is very essential. Ekaya upalabdhya. ekaya upalabdhya sarvan kaman sah bhunkte. Focus on this. Getting one thing, experience of everything comes. That is the speciality in Brahmanubhava. In the other Manava Prayatna Prapti of the Kamana or Sukha or Bhoga, it is not so. You know, if you are in the Gandharva Loka, you are in Gandharva, not in Indra Loka. If you are Indra Loka, you are Indra Loka, not in Chandra Loka. जो पुण्य किया वही वहीं जाएंगे हम. So here, what is it ki ekaya upalabdhya. With one attainment, everything included in that. In other things, it is not so. What is ekaya upalabdhya? If you eat the sweet, you have the joy of sweet. You don't have the joy of namkeen. Namkeen ka aanand lena to you have to eat namkeen only. Is it not? If you are here, this place, you are enjoying this. In that place you have to enjoy, you can't enjoy it here. You have to go there. In that way, for every upalabdhi, your effort is different. And to enjoy it, you have to obtain different things. Like if you are in summer, you can't have the winter's joy. If you are in winter, you don't have the rainy season's joy. Here kya hai? Listen carefully. Ekalaya upalabdhya means by obtaining one thing called as Brahman. Eka kshana uparudhan, in one moment only. Saha means yugapad, simultaneously. Sarvan kaman bhukte. Ashnute. That is the greatness of Brahmanubhava. And we've explained it, the meaning of it is what? All the objects by all the sense organs of all the people of the past, present and future. If all that is experienced at one moment, how it looks like? That will be the Ananda Brahma. That is why it is great. Example is given, then analysis is given. How is it so? Example is Savitru Prakashavatu. We said it, no? Bhagavan Surya, when he comes on the horizon, he will not illuminate things one by one. No? He illuminates all the things and he illuminates all the things simultaneously. Is it not? Only one sun again. Imagine the sun at 12 o'clock in the afternoon up above. देखो कैसे वो कर रहे हैं, सारे भूमंडल को वो रोशनदान कर रहे हैं एंड देन एक ही बार कर रहे हैं, खुद ही कर रहे हैं. 3 things entire in one go and only one Surya. So only one Brahmanubhuti in one go, experience of all the bhoga possible to all, not only human, birds, animal, पशु, सब मिलकर अपने अपने उपाधियों से विषय वस्तुओं का पाकर whatever the bhoga or enjoyment they get, all that is experienced by the Brahmagyani. Now we will analyze it. How is it so? One by one. He says, up to this यहाँ देखा ना, सहा means युगपत, एकक्षणा उपारूढ़ान एवं ekaya upalabdhya savitru prakashavatu. Okay, now he is telling the Mula statement. Then in next para I will explain. After giving the Surya example, we also analyzed already. Same thing here he says. Nityaya Brahma Sarupa Avyatiriktaya Yam Avochama Satyam Jnanantamanam iti. So, Saha Brahmana Vipashita iti. This sentence also is there in the Mula mantra. That also to be explained. So, Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. याद हो गया. Now Brahmana Vipashita means what? Ki Nityaya Brahma Swarupa Avyatiriktaya. So Brahmana means what? By being one with that Nitya Brahma. Brahmana means what? Becoming one with that Brahman which is Nitya. So Nityaya Brahma Swarupa Avyatiriktaya. इसी में आपको आंसर मिल गया. He has become one with that Brahman which is Nitya. Brahma Swarupa Avyatiriktaya Nityaya. Yam Avochama Satyam Jnanamanantam Iti. That Brahman which has been explained as Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma, in the identification with that Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma, all the bhoga through all these sense organs, etc., at one moment only experienced. That is what we have to understand. So, Nitya Brahma Atma Swarupa se, when we become identified, Sarvan Kaman Bhungte Ashnute, that Sukha Ananda will be ours. Etat tat Uchyate Brahmana Sahiti. That is why Brahmana Saha is said in the Mula Mantra. Soshnude Sarvan Kaman Sah Brahmana Vipashchiteti. Okay. Now, what is Vipashchit? It will come toward the end. Now the explanation is given. Just little careful, consciously we can understand. See, main sentence is Brahmabhutah vidvan Brahmaswarupena eva sarvan kaman saha ashnute. This is the main sentence. If this is understood, everything understood. The entire next 2-3 lines are explaining this. Be careful. It's already said, but more specifically. First, Brahma Bhutaha Vidwan. Means what? The Vidwan who discovered Brahma, and discovery of the Brahma is being Brahma. Therefore, Brahma Bhuta Vidwan. जो विद्वान ब्रह्म बन गया मतलब पहले नहीं था ऐसा नहीं, already discussed, he knew, he came to know that he is Brahman. Such person, Brahma Swarupena eva, listen carefully, being Brahman by itself, being Brahman alone, Sarvan Kaman, all the Bhoga, Saha Ashnute, simultaneously enjoys. That's what is the main mantra. So, Brahma Swarupa, Brahma Bhuta Vidvan, Brahma Swarupena eva. So, a Vidwan, when he discovers himself to be Brahman, by discovering himself to be Brahmana, by discovering himself to be Brahmana, Sarvan Kaman, all the enjoyments, Ashnute Saha, he enjoys at one go. Means what? In the Brahma Anubhuti, there is an Anubhuti of all the Kamanas experienced in one go. All Bhogas experienced in one go. How? Now the explanation starts. First, he gives the explanation to the experiences of the Jiva who have not yet discovered the Brahma Tattva. Then, in contrast to that, the Brahma Anubhuti will be told. So, how you and I, Jiva, experience the Kamanas, how wonderful is this analysis, I tell you. इसको अपना 6-7 बार पढ़ो ना ध्यान से, एक एक शब्द को, then catch the essence of it. The intellect becomes so perfect, subtle, thereafter, Vairagya and all of them become automatic. If this one is understood. I am pausing for me to gather the words to explain exhaustively, systematically, perfectly what Bhagavan Adi Shankara and Shruti Mata is telling us. So, Brahma Bhuta Vidwan's Anubhuti is all the Anubhavas at one go. Now, to explain to the convey that point to us, the Anubhava of every of the Jiva, you and me, of the world as a result of our own karma, how we enjoy it, first it is analyzed. Very interesting it. And after that, all these limitations, conditions, which are inevitable in the Jivas, Anubhuti of the Vishayas, all of them are not at all there in the Brahma Anubhuta Vyakti. One by one. First he says, Na yatha upadhikrutena. One by one. Simultaneously only we study. For a Jiva, you and I, any of the Vishya Bhoga, can it come without Upadhi? No. So the Brahma Anubhava person will no need the Upadhi of. That is what Pashyatya Chakshuhu Shrunotya Karnaha. Now, the moment the Upadhi Krutena is given, so many things you have to add to that. Means what? Our Sukha Bhoga of the Vishayas of the world are with Upadhis. Okay. First of all, the Vishaya should be there in front. Second, to experience that Vishaya, the Upadhi should be there. Third, between the Upadhi and Vishaya, sufficient proximity should be there. Fourth, the Upadhi should be perfect. And every Upadhi of Indriyas is connected to the Antakarana. Antakarana also should be perfect. Is it not? If the mind is disturbed, even though the food is very tasty, you won't enjoy it. Mind is good, food is tasty, but if the tongue is not good, you can't enjoy it. Mind is food, food is good, then the tongue also is good, but the required quantity may not come. Are you understanding? In you and I, when you experience the world, it is upadhikrita. How many conditions are there? And that object should be in right quantity, whether it is ear, sound, or the form of the eyes, or the taste of the tongue, कुछ भी हो. इन सब के बिना ही ब्रह्मज्ञानी को वो आनंद होता है. अब इमेजिन करो निरुपाधि का आनंद कितना होगा अगर कंडीशन आनंद ही ऐसा है तो. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ सर्वान कामान सा भुंक्ते. वन पॉइंट. This is what should reveal to us that through the upadhi, when you are enjoying something, it is not that we are enjoying great things. Through the upadhi, we are limiting the joys. That's why in Nidra, when all the upadhis are dropped, the joy is so much. Our problem is what? Only through the Indriya control, contacting the objects, the sukha can be gained. In that, we got conditioned. You understood that? This is where we have to find the breakthrough. हमको डेफिनेशन क्या है? विषयों का इंद्रियों से संपर्क करने से ही मिलता है सुख. यही सुख है. ऐसे डिसीजन हम लेके बैठ गए. Every of the human being are conditioned in their own limited understanding regarding source of happiness, regarding the experience of happiness. We don't realize also that that there is a happiness even without the conditions of the upadhi. If the conditional happiness is so beautiful, how more greater and beautiful would be the non-conditional happiness that we have to discover. First, understand it. So, nayatha upadhikrutena, then swarupena atmana, jala surya kadivatu, pratibimba bhutena, samsarikena, dharmadinimitta apekshano, चक्षुरादिकरण अपेक्षान च कामान पर्यायेण अष्टुते लोकः. Loka is ordinary human being. The one who has not realized the self. Brahma, he experiences sukha of the world in these many conditionings. These are not there in Brahman. This much if you understand, you caught the point. But it will not come into our heart in one go. So first thing what? Ki nayatha upadhi krutena sarupena atmana jala surya kadivat pratibimba bhutena samsarikena. This is one line. First of all, who are we? First of all, we are not the bimba bhuta brahma. We are the pratibimba only. This pratibimba again is in the antakarana vritti. Is it not? The अहम वृत्ति में परमात्मा का प्रतिबिंब होने के बाद उस प्रतिबिंब तादात्म्य अहम वृत्ति इस जीव, वहीं हम फंस गए. We ourselves are a limited entity, conditioned expression through the aham vritti. Then sopadikena, we need the antakarana upadhi of mana buddhi chitta. दो हो गए. The way of experience of a jiva, in that first thing is he himself is the chidabhasa tadatmya. He is not the purna brahma. चिदाभास, वहीं लिमिटेशन शुरू हो गया. देन सोपाधिकेन ही नीड्स द मन बुद्धि चित्त उपाधि. सेकंड हो गया. नो लिसन केयरफुली. थर्ड वन क्या है कि सांसारिकेण. व्हाट इज सांसारिकेण? कि that proper conditions have to be there outside. Conducive conditions have to be there. Next is very important. Dharma adi nimitta apeksha. Ki for you and I to enjoy the objects, they won't just come like that to us. We have to do two things called as dharma and punya. बिना धर्म किए बिना पुण्य किए हमको एंजॉय करने के लिए वस्तुएं नहीं मिलते हैं. धर्म हियर मीन्स यू हैव टू डू द ड्यूटी, देन ओनली द सैलरी विल कम. विद दैट मनी यू कैन बाय द थिंग्स. Adi means punya. When you do the punya or the prarthana or the upasana, then the devata log, they give us the vishayas. Otherwise, they won't come to us. So many things are done, the limitations in you and I when we try to experience sukha in the world. ये सब ब्रह्म में नहीं होगा. That is why the glory of the Brahmananda. And every of the jiva going through his life's experiences with so many limitations and conditionings, and he thinks that it is so glorious and beautiful. What glorious, beautiful? It has got so many conditions in it. First of all, the jiva himself is not real, pseudo fellow. Only chidavasa yukta ahamrutte. Second one is what? With mana buddhi chitta, only I can go through. Second. Third one is what? Dharma adi nimitta. If I don't do dharma or the punya, the sukha will not come to me or the vishayas cannot be given to me. Then the fourth one is what? Kim chakshura adi karana apeksha. है कि नहीं? पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रिय तो चाहिए ही. तो I need ज्ञानेन्द्रियास, I need manabuddhi chitta, and I have to do the dharma, and also I am the only the chidabhasa. Chidabhasa identified ahamrutti. So many limitations are there for us. And the last one is the top of all. What is that? कि पर्यायेण, one after the other only. दो चीजें एक ही बार नहीं होते हैं. एक के बाद ही एक होता है. This way, the lokaha, jivaha, you and I get the experience of the sukha of the vishayas. In this, एक भी चीज नहीं है तो बनता नहीं हो. If the chit pratibimba is not there, you can't even be conscious of anything. Manabuddhi chitta are not there, then you cannot contact the world at all. Indriyas are not there, then also you can't. And objects will never come to me unless I do dharma or the punya. एक चीज भी मिस हो गया, I can't enjoy anything of the world. So many conditions are there, and it is not difficult to understand. Is it not? I am individual. I have to discover my individuality. I have to use my mana buddhi, and then I conceive some idea. Then I have to work for it. Then the money or the object comes. Then that I have to experience it through indriyas. They have to be very intact. Behind that, the mana buddhi should be there. तब जाकर इतना मेहनत करने से आपको सुख मिलता है विषय का. लेकिन नहीं, कोई कॉफी वाला सुख पाना है तो all these struggles are there. Is it not? You should work in your duty, earn the money, go to the shop, get the coffee powder, milk and all of them, put it on the stove, heat it up. सब कुछ होना है. इसके बाद the tongue should be there in good healthy condition. That coffee also, if it is cold, you can't enjoy. It is too hot, or it will burn your tongue. So many things. And alpa sukham, 3 minutes, 4 minutes maximum. With so many conditions. And paryayena, when you have the coffee taste, only coffee you will be have. If you want other thing, not along with coffee, वो छोड़कर उसको दूसरे को पकड़ना पड़ता है. सारा एक बार नहीं होता. Understood in this way is not Brahmanubhuti. Now, one thing we'll share here itself. Ki all these upadhis, though are helping us in getting the sukha of the vishayas, be attentive. Is there, now this next thought is very important. If you got it, you got it. If you don't get it, you have missed it. Very attentive. All these upadhis, Is there any of these upadhi can it be independent of Brahman? Any of these things. Can anyone be independent of Brahman? Can't be, because already Brahman is found to be Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Now imagine, through the conditionings, if it is this Ananda, again only supported by Brahman, if the conditions are removed, is it not a pure Ananda of the Brahma? This is where I said it is tough to understand. Like आंखों से मैं दृश्य देख कर I am enjoying. But can the drishya vastu be without Brahma? Can the ankha be without Brahma? Can the mind be without Brahma? Because Brahma is Satyam Jnanantam. Okay? Now, through all these upadhis, Satyam Jnanam Anantam alone is there. And the Upadhikuta Ananda, which is dependent at every level on Brahman, is giving this Ananda. How much Ananda will be of the Brahman directly without the Upadhi? Now expand it. Through each of the upadhi, every of the jiva is getting this ananda. And in every jiva, who is there is Brahman. In every of the upadhi of the jiva, everywhere is what is there is Brahman. Now remove that jiva bhavas all and upadhis all, means remove all conditions. How infinite would be the Brahma Ananda? Main sentence is this. Though through the upadhis we are gaining, upadhis themselves are unreal. In them, their existence also, their personal whatever abilities also are the expression of Brahman only. Like the tongue existing is because of Brahman. The ability in the tongue to taste is also because of Brahman. Now, here what we have to do? Therefore, the ability in the tongue doesn't belong to the tongue. It is because of Brahman. Means what? The tasting ability is impossible without Brahman. Therefore, in the Brahma Vastu, all the tasting abilities of all the universal tongues are there of the past, present, and future. This is what we have to catch. Because throughout the universe, in the past, present, future, no individual's tongue can have the enjoyment of the taste without Brahma. Is it not? Every eye which is seeing and enjoying in the world, every animal, human, किसी का भी आंख बिना ब्रह्म का हो सकता है क्या? नहीं. So if each of the ankh is giving that much ananda to each of the individual, which cannot function without the Brahman, then how much must be the ananda in the Brahman when the upadhis are not there, are removed? Pure ananda. This is where difficult it becomes, as if to catch it, but you have to have little contemplative mind, you will catch it. What we have to understand therefore here is whether the jiva getting the ananda through the manabuddhi chitta, through the sense organs of the object. None of them can be without Brahma Tattva. Therefore, the Moola Karana for their happiness is Brahman only. Therefore, they don't have the independent Ananda. Therefore, all the Ananda of all the Upadhis of all beings belong to whom? Basically, then to Brahman only. Now, imagine if that Brahman is realized, how much is Ananda? It's like in the electricity, all the fans, bulbs, the tubes of the past and present and future are there. Why? Because without electricity, nowhere any electrical equipment can work. Independently, का पंखा नहीं घूमता है वो. अपने आप नहीं जलता. So what we have to catch here is what? Though the light is, bulb is giving light, fan is moving, what we have to catch is that light or fan can't give light or movement without the bijli. Therefore, the ability in the light and fan doesn't belong to them. It is of Brahman. Now, goal is Anand. If the Indriya Vishaya Sukha Ananda is like that, when the Indriya and Vishaya is removed, the pure Ananda would be how great it is. है ना, जब चीनी को काफ़ी चाय में डालते हो या लड्डू मिठाई में, हाउ वंडरफुल इट इज, डायरेक्ट स्वीट इफ यू ईट, like that in the whole world, how many variety of the mithai are there in all over the every country. So by eating each of the sweet, each of the being is becoming happy. किसी को रसगुल्ला, किसी को संदेश, किसी को लड्डू, किसी को कुछ कुछ। आज लोरी है ना, तो मिठाइयों को याद करना अच्छी बात है। But all of them cannot exist without sweet anywhere, without sugar or sweetness. Is it not? अब स्वीट का आनंद, सबका आनंद है कि नहीं? अब सर्वान कामान, if you have tasted the sweet or the sugar, basically you have tasted all the sweets of the world. Because every sweet is from the sweet, the sugar only. युगपत, तो एक इंद्रिय की बात हमने कहा। अब पांचों इंद्रियां, मन, मन के संकल्प, all of them cannot exist without Brahman. Brahman only expressing through them. Therefore, all their Ananda basically belongs to Brahman. But this Brahma Ananda only through Indriyas, it is conditionally experienced by the Jiva. In that conditionings, you need to have the Vastu, for the, you need to have the Karma or the Punya done. The Vastu should be given to him, it should be in proximity. The Indriyas are required, they have to be intact. Then the contact also has to be established. There should be no obstruction in between. इतने कंडीशन के बाद जो आनंद मिल रहा है छोटा सा, एंड वी थिंक दैट अलोन इज ग्रेट, बट ऑल दैट आनंद इज नॉट पॉसिबल विदाउट ब्रह्मन. देन इन ब्रह्मन हाउ मच आनंद शुड बी देयर, एंड नॉट ओनली वन ह्यूमन बीइंग, यूएनएस में कितने पशु पक्षी आदि हैं, उन सब का आनंद ब्रह्म का ही है. वो लोग वो चीज through whatever the equipment they are getting ananda of whatever the objects. That is why the Brahmananda includes all the ananda of all Dehendriya Manobuddhyadi, of all the jiva of past, present, future, yugapat, not pariyayana. Now, if one can understand about it thoroughly, will he run for this limited sukha gained through the upadhi after a lot of hard work of dharma and punya? मिलना कितना, भाई इतना ही मिलेगा उसके बाद. That is why a yogi or a brahmagnani is in the bliss of everyone, whichever, whatever ananda they are getting, without the effort of dharmadi, without the need of the object in front, without the need of the indriya karanadi, without the need of antakarana. This is the ananda of all the beings of the whole world of past, present, future, which they gain through various upadhis and contacting the objects. सब उस ब्रह्मज्ञानी के हैं, क्योंकि सब में जो आनंद देने का कैपेसिटी है वो ब्रह्म का है. दिस इज द मेन पॉइंट इन द एंटायर डिस्कशन. दे कांट एग्जिस्ट इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ ब्रह्मन, दे कांट फंक्शन इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ ब्रह्मन. Therefore, when they are existing and functioning because of Brahman only, their ability of giving Ananda also should belong to the Brahman. Therefore, when I put something on my tongue is giving Ananda. We condition our understanding only up to that level. But then, what is that because of which the tongue is existing and having the ability to taste? Brahman only. Without Brahma, can the tongue be there? Can the tongue can taste? No. Therefore, whose that Ananda of the tongue belongs to? Ananda gained through the taste. It should belong to Brahman only. Is it not? So every time the Brahman has to be there in the tongue to give us taste. But the tongue has to be intact. The object has to land on the tongue. Then only that condition happiness comes. Even that object which is existing, let us say sweet, that also because of Parabrahma only. उन्हीं का है. Then without the upadhi आप देखोगे तो फिर how blissful it would be. This has to click to us. I am struggling to get the sopadika ananda, which has so many conditions, whereas there is a chance for having nirupadika brahmananda in which Every ananda of the every being through the every organs of the every object the world is experienced because सब उन्हीं का है. Therefore, the infinite Brahmananda ko hi Brahmadeva is having as his own conditioned Ananda, Indra in his own condition, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, human beings, every one of them, though actually are Brahma and can have the infinite Ananda like Brahma, but they are only satisfied with the limited Ananda with their upadhis. So that is what yathoktena prakarena. See now, chakshuradi karanapekshancha kaman paryayena ashtute lokaha. Not this way is the Brahma Anubhava. How is it? Katam tanehi yathoktena prakarena. That's what. As you mentioned already, first is Sarvagnena. The Brahman is Sarvagnya. And if behind every of the Indriya, the awareness is not there, can we enjoy it? Like you are eating ice cream, but you are watching TV. You cannot enjoy the ice cream taste. Like that, you have to be conscious and aware for every ananda. Therefore, ananda belongs to whom? Consciousness only. Therefore, sarvagnena. And then the other happinesses are conditional with respect to place. इधर है तो उधर नहीं होता, उधर नहीं तो इधर नहीं होता. But the Brahman is always everywhere there. Therefore, sarvagatena. Sarvagnena and sarvagatena. Third one is what? Sarva Atmana is very important. By being the Atma of all the upadhis of every individual, then Nitya Brahma Atma Sarupena, and all that is what? That Brahma which is Nitya, and that Nitya Brahma is my own self. Is the Jiva Nitya? No. Has he got the Brahma as an Atma? No. He's only in the Siddhavasa identified Ahamruti only. But इनका क्या है? नित्य ब्रह्म आत्म स्वरूपेण. And then धर्मादि निमित्त अनपेक्षान. For Brahma to have this infinite ananda, or for a person who discovered Brahmananda, उनको धर्मादि का निमित्त की जरूरत नहीं है. That you will have to do papa, sorry, punya and dharma, then the object should come, then you will enjoy it through the senses. ऐसी जरूरत नहीं है. धर्मादि निमित्त अनपेक्षा. And the beautiful is चक्षुरादिकरण निरपेक्षांच. There is no need of chakshurasi indriyas. In this way, sarvan kaman, all the enjoyments, sahayeva, simultaneously, ashnute ityartaha, he enjoys. Little trickish, but not at all difficult to understand. Simple thing is what? Every jiva and all his equipments and all the objects of enjoyment, all of them have come from Brahman. Through them, the happiness is conditional. And that happiness should belong to Brahman only because they came from Brahman. Okay? So, if the conditional happinesses are like that, how will be that unconditional infinite happiness? So, if I discover myself with Brahman, then every tongue which is tasting in the whole universe of past, present, future, every time or any time, all that ananda will be mine. Because throughout the world, whoever are enjoying the objects through the tongue, that is possible only when the Brahma Tattva is there behind, and that is me. Every eye which is enjoying the forms and shapes and colors throughout the universe, it is my own happiness because no eye can enjoy without the Brahman behind. I am that Brahman. So सब लोगों का, सब जीवों का, हर एक उपाधि के द्वारा हर एक वस्तु का जो आनंद संभव है, that is because Brahman, and that I discovered I myself to Brahman, therefore that is my ananda. Without problems. The problems of requirement of Chakshuradikarana, the problem of requirement of Antakarana, problem of doing the dharma or punya, then getting the objects, then it is in the युगपथ नहीं है वो तो पर्यायण है. यहाँ तो पर्यायण में युगपथ only. That much is Ananda Brahmananda. Means he is in a bliss unconditional. Means what? He will not be conditioned anymore to be happy. That I only with my upadhis will have to contact the objects and then only I will become happy. That is Jiva's problem. But the one who discovers Brahma Tattva, he knows that I am the one who is enjoying through all the eyes, ears, nose, taste, tongue, all the mana, buddhi. मैं ही अनुभव कर रहा हूं, वो अनुभव आएगा उनको, because I am Brahman, not this one upadhi. Not knowing that we are struggling to get through one upadhi, the sukha और the vastu मिला तो उपाधि ठीक नहीं होता, उपाधि तो वास्तु ठीक नहीं होता. We are lost in this ignorance. We think this alone is wisdom. So Brahmagnani, without dharma and punya doing, without getting any object, without using sense organs to contact, without the antakarana required, is getting that happiness of all the jiva upadhis who are in the whole universe getting the happiness through all contacts of the objects with the senses. देखो, because he is the self of all. He will be that ananda. So this is called as nirupadhika ananda. Therefore, we have to do both things. First is what? Brahma Ananda is not the Vishaya Ananda. Second thing is what? Ki all the Vishaya Anandas are possible because of Brahman only. Therefore, how much Ananda must be that Brahma Anubhuti without Vishayas? हमको कंडीशन क्या है? Only the Vishayas are there, then it is a happiness. We have conditioned ourselves that विषय सुख ही सुख है. No, सुख सुख है, वो हमको विषयों के द्वारा ऐसा लगता है. That's why we said the nirvishaya sukha in the nidra. What is the nidra में विषय है? स्थूल विषय है क्या? Any of the शब्द स्पर्श प्रसगंध? सूक्ष्म विषय है क्या? In the subtle world like in the dream? They're not there. In the sleep, but the anandam is there. So happy, so blissful here. See how many places we are going wrong therefore. See the reflection of consciousness in aham vritti, I am thinking I am. Then the happiness is conditioned by the upadhis. I think only through conditioners of the upadhi that I can be happy. In that notion we are. Like people, I gave you so many example. In the closed doors in the AC में ही खुशी है. ऐसा लोग अपने आप को कंडीशन कर चुके हैं. They don't want to think otherwise. But when they open the door or come into the open sky and see, बाहर भी इतना आनंद है. बट वो कंडीशन हो जाते. Are you getting the point? We are conditioned by the conditioning that the conditioned upadhi से ही खुशियां आनंद मिलते हैं. We should know that the happiness or bliss is not requiring any of the upadhi. In fact, they are abstractions. They only give the reflection happiness only. जैसे ये क्या ना बेचारे all the farmers, how much tough work they do to produce those vegetables and grains. But do they directly sell to the customers? No, they have to go through the medium or the दलाल जो लोग दलाली बीच वाले के अब बीच वाले दोनों से खाते हो वो eat away from the farmers also and they eat from the customers also. If a system is made where the किसान लोग सीधा सेल कर रहे how beautiful that will be there. They'll become karodpati because so much of the money, the food they are creating, producing and all. But the बीच वाले करोड़पति बन रहे वो तो वैसे गरीब है. In the same way, pure nirupadhika nirvishesha ananda of the Brahman is so infinite that from that only every jiva through every of the upadhi any time he is getting that ananda which is so limited and conditional. So in our analysis what we have to discover is the sukha which we are getting is so much conditional by the upadhis. And don't get conditioned that this is the only way the Sukha is gained. There is another way. What is the other way? Nirupadika. What is Nirupadika? Brahmananda. In the Brahmananda, Vishayas are not there. But through all the Vishayas, what Ananda you are getting, that is there. इन द विषय आनंद वन विषय के बाद और एक साइमल्टेनियस नहीं होता हो, यहाँ साइमल्टेनियस है. एंड टू गेट द विषय यू हैव टू वर्क हार्ड. देन सो मेनी अदर रूल्स रेगुलेशंस आल्सो हैव टू बी फुलफिल्ड. ब्रह्मानंद में इसकी कोई जरूरत नहीं है. सो पुट इट दिस वे, the ananda gained by the all beings of all past, present, future with all the upadhis is gained by the brahmagnani without all those conditionings. मतलब बिना आंख का, आंखों के द्वारा कितने भी लोग जीव जगत को देखकर आनंद पा रहे हैं, वो सारा आनंद एक ही बार ब्रह्मज्ञानी का होगा. बिना जिह्वा का, टंग, वॉट एवर द टंग्स दैट आर टेस्टिंग द फूड इन द होल यूनिवर्स, पास्ट, प्रेजेंट, फ्यूचर, दैट आनंद इज अ ब्रह्मज्ञानी. Without the condition of tongue required, the object has to land on the tongue. And this, to understand it, you all know many times, when your mind is fresh, calm, quiet, even some eatable is given, you say, मैं खुश हूँ, मेरे को नहीं चाहिए, आप बोलते. That example can tell you कि निरुपाधिक आनंद, मैं खुश हूँ. वेरी रेयर केस. जनरली वी आर ग्रीडी. अब जितना मिले फोगट में उतने खाओ, ऐसे मूर्ख के एटीट्यूड में रहते हैं हम, इसलिए ये एग्जाम्पल वेरी रेयर है, बट इट इज देयर. Sometimes we are in a unconditional happiness. Means in this way, though the object is in front, नहीं चाहिए मुझे, मैं खुश हूँ. Okay, that should be helping aid for us to understand. Therefore, how much must be the Ananda Brahma Tattva, wherein all the Ananda gained by the everything is by that Brahman only. Now, in the Brahman, conditions are not there. Nirupadik. That is the meaning. So, without the need of dharma and punya, without the objects outside, without the sense organs, without the antakarna required, all the ananda gained by all of them is Brahmananda. Again, why? The question is only one. Why is it so? Because all of them are existing in Brahma only, because of Brahma only. Therefore, that ananda should belong to Brahman. Main point is this. हर आनंद ब्रह्मानंद का ही है. Please remember, Brahmanande Vishayanandam, Brahmanande Nidranandam, Brahmanande Indriyanandam, Brahmanande Mana Anandam, Brahmanande Bhoganandam. Like in the ocean only, all rivers. In the ocean only, all ponds, all the clouds, all the wells, all of them are in the ocean only. Main source called as ocean, if it is not there, the upper clouds will not be there, the glaciers will not be there, the rivers will not be there, the groundwaters will not be there, the ponds, lakes, none of them can be there without ocean. Ocean conditioned are all these sources of water. If you can comprehend this example, same way, आनंद सिर्फ ब्रह्म का ही स्वरूप है, जड़ वस्तुओं का नहीं होता. सो जड़ वस्तुओं में जो भी आनंद है वो ब्रह्म का ही है, बट वो कंडीशनड है. If the conditioned ananda is like that, how would be that unconditional ananda? An example is given this way. Saha shrute sarvan kaman saha. उपनिषद को ऐसा ही कहना है, दूसरी तरह कह भी नहीं सकते. सर्वान कामान included all the sukha of all the beings of all the past, present, future through all the upadhis. Saha means simultaneous. Saha means he, the Brahmagnani ashrute bhukte. Is it not? So tough to intellect to comprehend it, conceive it. But an idea is given. You ponder over that for more clarity. So again, Brahma Bhuta Vidwan, Brahma Swarupena Eva Sarvan Kaman Sahashrute. The one who has known Brahman, by being Brahman only, is enjoying all the objects of the whole universe simultaneously. and not like this, but like this. Not like what? Na yatha upadikritena swarupena atmana jalasurya pratibhimbabhutena, then samsarikena, then dharmadi nimitta apekshano, then shakshunadi karna apekshancha kaman paryayena yatha lokaha ashnute. Na katham tarihi, then yathoktena prakarena sarvajnena sarvagatena sarvatmana. These three words are important. Sarvajnena, Sarvagatena, Sarvatmana. Every jiva in this whole universe, whatever the number of sukha is having, in each of them, Bhagavan as a consciousness, Sarvajna hai ki nahi usme. And then Sarvagatena is not permeating the entire jiva with all its upadhis. And Sarvatmana, can anything exist without the Brahman as an Atma of them? So Bhagavan ही सर्वज्ञ सर्वगत सर्वात्मा बनकर सबका ऑलरेडी है, जिनके कारण every जीव is existing and getting their happinesses. Therefore, all that actually belongs to Brahman only. The Brahmananda is infinite that way. Then Sarvagatena Sarvatmana Nitya Brahma Atma Swarupena. नित्य ब्रह्म ही आत्मा है ऐसे स्वरूपेण धर्मादि निमित्त अनपेक्ष चक्षुरादि करण निरपेक्षांच सर्वान् कामान् सह एव अश्नुते इत्यर्थः. देन विपश्चिता इति, विपश्चित क्या है? विपश्चिता मेधाविना सर्वज्ञेन तद्धि वैपश्चित्यं यत् सर्वज्ञत्वं तेन सर्वज्ञ स्वरूपेण ब्रह्मणा अश्नुते इति शब्दः मंत्र परिसमाप्ति अर्थः. So that is sarvajnena or vipaschita. This little thing is there. We'll just discuss it tomorrow. Again, I'll explain all that tomorrow in 5-6 minutes so that you get an idea. Then the subsequent portions, we will see how the Brahma is Deshakala Vastu Atita. There are no limitations of Deshakala Vastu in him. In that way, the connection or the continuation happens. So tomorrow is another beautiful topic of Avatarika for the next mantra, and then after mantra is chanted also. Another introductory Bhashyam Bhagavan gives before entering into the explanation of the third mantra. Tasmadva tasmad atmana akasha sambhutah, into that we'll enter. So tomorrow इसका एक बार थोड़ा सा sum up करके then we take up the next mantra. Thank you. Om 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 The simple thing is what? Everywhere, wherever anything and being is existing, all is existing because of Brahman. And anything or animal existing, when it is experiencing sukha, that sukha belongs to Brahman only, because Brahman alone is existing. Therefore, the Brahman, conditioned by that upadhi, is giving that happiness. Then, if the conditions are removed, how much is the Ananda Brahma? That is what we have to think. That is why in the Brahmananda, of all the jivas, of all Anandas are included. In short, we have Ananda in 3 avasthas, Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti. तो सारे जीवों के सारे जाकर सपन सुषुप्ति में जो भी आनंद है वो सब ब्रह्म में है, क्योंकि those avasthas in their entirety cannot exist independent of Brahman. तो उनका इंडिपेंडेंट एग्जिस्टेंस ही ब्रह्म के कारण है, तो उनका आनंद भी ब्रह्म का है. बट दे आर ऑल कंडीशंस. रिमूव द कंडीशन, इनफाइनाइट. So that is why the Upanishad tried to struggle to tell us Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Ashnute. Now, this contemplation should first give us both the clarities. One, first I am enjoying only the conditional happiness conditioned in so many ways and getting kicked. Being a Brahman, no need of conditions, but the anand of all the Dehendriya Manobuddhiyadi can be obtained. That much is tempting is the Brahma Vastu. If somebody understands it, no, he will only pursue it. He will not go for the conditioned happinesses. That's how it is. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha Paramanushibhyo Namaha Param Brahmane Namaha Shruti Matre Nam Tat Sat Brahmarpana Vastu. तो सो फार वी आर थिंकिंग ब्रह्मानंद कुछ अलग होता है. अलग क्या? सारे आनंद उन्हीं के, विदाउट दोज कंडीशंस. थैंक यू.